Okay, let's talk about soloing over a rock tune that has changes that have a little more meat to them. So let's take a tune like Little Wing by Hendrix, which is one of the greatest songs of all time, and has a lot of really nice changes you can dig into. So let's review the changes of the tune. It starts on E minor. Well, she's walking, and this is not a vocal lesson, so no judgment. Through the clouds, that's G, where the circus man, A minor 7, is running round, E minor 7. So then we go up to B minor 7, butterflies and zebras and moonbeams, passing chord B flat minor 7 to A minor 7, which is great, and fairy tales, G. All she ever talks about, F, C, is riding with the wind. Okay, that's the end of the form. It's a short form, great tune. So, we're starting on E minor, so you can actually, the tune is in G, but it's, a minor-based thing. So you can get away with playing E minor pentatonic and E blues scale for pretty much all but one of the changes going through the form. So right there on that D, you can still play the blues scale or the E minor pentatonic over it, but it just, to my ears, it really wants that G implied. So that's kind of what I want to hear. You can go back into the blues scale, going back into that one chord, but I just feel that D needs a little more, that kind of thing. Okay, so you can do that. You can play blues over that and get through that and fine. But what else can we do on that? All right, the first two chords of the tune can be, you can add a little meat to them by adding one note to both chords, and that note is F sharp. So over that E minor chord, if you add that F sharp, it turns that into a minor 9. So now all of a sudden you have this other thing happening other than the E pentatonic or the E minor pentatonic. You now have, you can do a lot of stuff with that. That kind of makes the ear bend. And when you keep that note in there going to that G chord, that all of a sudden makes that G a G major 7. So now we've added a couple new tonalities to the whole thing. And the way that I might think of those two chords together is I might think of just playing G major 7 sounds over both of those chords. Okay, now what did I just do there? That was like passing tones on my way to A minor 7. Where did I come up with those? Okay, here's a good rule of thumb which you can apply to give yourself and your vocabulary some other stuff to add in your soloing. When you're going to a minor chord, and this works for major chords too, but in this case we're talking about a minor chord, and this is a really good example. So I'll play that again. Didn't really hit it real well. There we go. When you're going to a minor chord, you can imply the 5 of whatever that minor chord is. So your basic, so we're going to A minor 7. So what I was thinking there was E7 going to that A minor 7. And usually when you are going to a minor chord, the E is some type of altered, like a sharp 9 or a flat 9 usually. So the thing I did there was I just did a line that outlined some of the tones of an E7 altered. You hear how nicely that resolves? And you can do that with just chords. So, and all of a sudden you can just add that little passing stuff going to that chord, and it makes the ear, it makes the listener feel like there's forward momentum going to that minor chord. See? Now what did I do there? I did another passing chord, but instead of implying a 5, I implied like an F major 7 going to that E minor chord. So I'll do that again. And I also play the F in the bass, so that gives me a passing. You can do that going to a minor chord also, doing a major 7, a half step up, and just outlining those changes. It just gives that ear, it creates that tension and release going to that minor chord. So then we get up to the B minor 7, and you're doing three consecutive minor chords in half steps. A really good thing that you could do over that is play the exact same lick just in each of those keys over those changes. So see how nice that works? Or you could do a different one. If you can use repetitive tones or repetitive movement like that, it gives the listener, it gives that ear something to grab onto, and it makes it sound like you're planning things instead of just noodling through notes. So then we get to the G chord. I would probably make that a major 7, and make the F a major 7, and make that C a major 7, and then I play that G straight as an arrow. So we'll go through it again. That didn't work. There's that half step passing thing. 2-5. Lydian. So those are some different things you can do to bring a little of that jazz sound to a tune that's not necessarily jazz and still not make it too jazzy. So try those things.